A Harvard business professor and economist asked more than 5,000 Americans how they thought wealth was distributed in the United States. This is what they said they thought it was. Dividing the country into 5 rough groups of the top, bottom, and middle 3 20% groups, they asked people how they thought the wealth in this country was divided. Then he asked them what they thought was the ideal distribution. And 92%, that's at least 9 out of 10 of them, said it should be more like this. In other words, more equitable than they think it is. Now that fact is telling, admittedly, the notion that most Americans know that the system is already skewed unfairly. But what's most interesting to me is the reality compared to our perception. The ideal is as far removed from our perception of reality as the actual distribution is.
There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
I'm embarrassed a little bit about living here because of the trailer and the yard and stuff.
I was on welfare 18 years. Now, I work at Burger King. All I want is a life where I can be happy. But right now, I'm not. And I've been trying to get someone to fix it where I can get on the road, you know. I just basically need to get things going, you know, to get my kids going. I don't know what else to do.
The poorest Americans don't even register. They're down to pocket change. And the middle class is barely distinguishable from the poor. In fact, even the rich between the top 10 and 20 percentile are worse off. Only the top 10% are better off. And how much better off? So much better off that the top 2 to 5% are actually off the chart at this scale.
I grew up in a small town, and the people who lived on the hill were the rich people and the most powerful people and the most respected people and the most prestigious people. And the people who lived at the bottom of the hill on the other side of the tracks were the know-nothings and the do-nothings, and that's how they were regarded.
It really has to do with the way you were brought up.
We have the historic house, we have the threadbare oriental carpets, we have everything you need to be upper class.
For the past 40 years, the American middle class has gotten slowly, surely, purposefully, and not terribly gently, screwed. Because while the middle class was busting its collective ass to keep up, a certain small percentage of our citizens were getting very, very rich indeed. That's right. The game was rigged.
Over the past 3 years, I've taken advantage of every academic, extracurricular, and community opportunity that has been presented to me.
Hold on tight until it ends. Together there's strength in